What's up? It's your boy, Sechaba Vibe, and I just like to reintroduce myself. I know some of y'all might know me as Matt Marks, as Coop Neen, but right now I go by Sechaba Vibe, and yeah, a lot has changed, man. Time been flying so fast. It's actually been a while since I've done one of these. So I just like to welcome you back into my thoughts, into my life. A lot has happened since we last spoke. Let me see. I built a few studios, shut down a couple business, opened a couple business, and I'm a father now. So yeah, a lot of life, a lot of inspiration, and I basically thought like, damn, let me just shoot another podcast, and just for kind of selfish reasons, but also for you guys watching, dealing with time, dealing with aging. I'm about to hit my 30s right now, and I think having a podcast is kind of a good way for me to review my life, review decisions I've done, talk about business, talk about life, talk about relationships, talk about the struggles, talk about the wins. Since the last time we spoke, I've been going through a lot of that, a lot of losses, a lot of wins, a lot of good times, a lot of bad times. I basically hit rock bottom, There were times where life just had me on the chokehold, and for the first time, I really didn't know what to do. And it felt like I needed help. For a long time, I've just always been kind of like independent, always been doing my own thing, but the concept of life when you're growing up is kind of crazy, Having to go through mental changes. What do relationships mean at the age of in your late 20s versus in your early 20s? What is business? And I fucked up. I fucked up a lot, man. But this is not a pity party, because there's no sympathy for the winners, because I've also won. So even if I try to complain and I try to let people sympathize with me, they never will, because they view me as a winner, and that could never happen to me. I can never be in a situation where I don't know what to do because of my skills, because of my capabilities, because of my talents. So for a large number of people, it feels like I can never lose. Even to myself, I always felt like I never lose. And that's partially true, because I actually didn't lose, even though I felt like I was losing, and there were times where it looks like I'm losing. I was just getting lessons, And though they were not easy life lessons, I lost my mind a couple times. I literally went to a mental institution. I wouldn't call it rehab, but yeah, I found myself in a mental institution, just waking up there in a hospital bed. It damn near felt like a prison, because Nobody even told me that they're gonna be checking me in. I just basically got dropped off at a hospital. They did a couple tests, and then I walked with the nurse, and she showed me, "Yo, that's your bed." And I found myself, yeah, in a mental institution with other mentally ill people. And that was a huge learning curve. I never thought that I would find myself in a mental institution because I always felt crazy. I always knew I'm crazy. But when they put you in a place like that, it kind of just confirms that, dude, you are really crazy. And damn, man, I'm crazy, you know? And that's kind of like a relief because I always find myself doing things that and being different from the way I dress, the way I look at life, my point of views, my opinions. I've always been quote unquote crazy and losing my mind, going through depression, anxiety, or I like to call it a spiritual awakening. Because based off my experience, the symptoms could signal depression. The signals could signal I was high on anxiety, but I feel like I went through a spiritual awakening throughout my journey of losing my mind, of being unconscious and looking at reality through a different lens. And yeah, this is me, and this is the introduction to me sharing my story with you guys. And yeah, I just like to reintroduce myself. Hopefully on this season, I'm going to be more consistent. I'm really going to put my all into this. And I believe in second chances, and I believe I deserve one. And if you're watching this, thank you for giving me that second chance to prove myself, to turn up, to share, to learn, to grow, and to make my mark in history in this thing we call life. So yeah, this is the introduction. Come on, welcome me back. I'm back, baby.